What's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? How y'all doing out there? Welcome back to the channel. Another full update shoe review. This time, usually I do 50-mile full reviews, and that's usually kind of where I end up being, is 50 miles gets you the full review. Well, today we're actually going to do a 100-mile full review. Yeah, it's, you know, I did the miles in the shoe. It's something that kind of fell on the back burner as far as creating content for you guys out there. But since I have a little bit of time on my hand, I figure I'd go and update some of you on the shoes that I have been running in, getting to those miles, getting to see where these shoes kind of line up. So today, we're going to talk about this shoe, a daily trainer in mind, the Saucony Ride 15 after 100 miles. That's right, 100 miles in this shoe. And right off the bat, I'm going to say it has been an absolute pleasure to run in this shoe. All right, so I'm not going to do all of the quick specs and all that kind of stuff because I do have the original initial impression video. Put a link in the description below down there somewhere. But before we get into this, guys, please, if you haven't done so already, if you're just scrolling through and trying to find a good review video on, hey, how does this shoe work long term, all that kind of stuff, please, please, please hit that subscribe button below. It really does help my channel out and allows me to reach out to a broader audience. Also, give this video a thumbs up at the end of it because of the YouTube algorithms. The more thumbs up, the more likely I'm going to get more traffic coming through to this video. And also click that bell for notifications if you want to be alerted of when new content drops. Again, it helps out. Also, I believe somewhere down there is also a super thanks button, which will just, again, it just helps me out so I can do more of these shoe review videos for you guys. So yeah, Saucony Ride 15 is a new shoe for 2022. Is completely redesigned from the Saucony Ride 14 and 13 and previous, models. And I'm not going to lie to you, this has been a very good, solid daily trainer shoe that I really wasn't expecting to be as good as it became. So it does have a very breathable mesh upper here. You can actually see how breathable this is. It's a very thin material. It is a dual layer, but there's like, you've got all of these holes right here, but underneath is like a breathable mesh layer that has even bigger holes in it. So it's super, super breathable and it feels super light on foot. I also like the lacing system that's on here. Really spot on lacing system. I do have to say Saucony is usually really good about their lacing system and having a really good, comfortable lockdown. The tongue is not super plush. It's very soft padding on here, but it's not overly done. It's definitely daily trainer-like. Just nice comfort, not overdone, not super plush, but just enough to kind of protect the top of your foot from the laces. Now it is a gusseted tongue, so you don't have to worry about it, moving around on you. And again, it helps provide a little bit better lockdown. Something that there is to be noted here is these little lace tabs here. There's one on the lateral side, one on the medial side. They both attach down to the bottom. And the way that it kind of feels is it's not that it just pulls your foot down into the shoe. It kind of pulls your foot down and back into this heel cup area. So you do have a nicely padded heel collar right here and a very nice heel counter that cups around the bulb of your heel. And again, very stout back here. Now it does have this little pull tab on here. It's stretchy. I've never really used it. Honestly, don't really think it's necessary to be on there, but hey, I get the reason for it. You just have that. And then again, on the tongue here, you got this little thin fabric here, almost Adidas-esque right here as like a pull tab for your tongue. I wouldn't really pull on it. I know it's kind of what it's there for, but it feels like it could just rip right off. But I never really had to use it, so take that for what it is. But again, solid lockdown. It's just a really comfortable daily trainer, and then a really wide, I would say wide kind of toe box compared to other daily trainers that are out there. So there's definitely a lot of space for your feet to kind of splay out and just be super comfortable on those daily miles. So we'll move on to the midsole here. And the midsole is, I mean, it's just Power Run midsole, but it's a little bit softer than the typical Power Run that you get on like the, what is it, the Endorphin Shift version 1 and 2, and like the Saucony Axon, which also uses Power Run. All those are very firm. This is actually a little bit softer, and it did get a little softer over the miles. I took about 30 miles, and it's kind of broken in just nicely, so it's just a very nice, smooth ride. I won't say that it's, you know, bouncy or anything exciting, but it's just a very solid, smooth ride in the shoe. Lots of impact protection on here, which is why I think, and I think I said this in my original video, again, link in the description if you want to watch it, is that the shoe feels like it would be really good for heavier runners. So yeah, I mean, nothing special going on here. No air units, no gel, no nothing. It is just Power Run, and it's perfect. I mean, it's simple and it's perfect. Now going on to the outsole here, love the outsole. Absolutely love the outsole. Versatility wise, might be limited. I will fully admit that. Considering that the traction on here is definitely geared toward road surfaces. So if you are going to use this on some light trails, just be very mindful that it's not really what its intended purpose is. But for the road, fantastic. It's very smooth. I like the fact that you have strategically placed rubber all over the shoe, in the heel and in the forefoot. It's got a very good decoupled groove right here. It's not really bouncy, so don't think Nova Blast when you think of a decoupled groove in the shoe, but it's definitely got a little bit of impact protection there. It just kind of allows that, allows it to act a little bit softer when you land, but it's not really a bouncy type of system here. Now, I do believe that the cutout right here, if you can see that on the camera, I do believe that cutout here is to also kind of act in the same way as like a decoupled groove, but for that area right under, right behind your big toe, it feels like that kind of absorbs some impact. So if you pronate a little bit, it absorbs a little bit of that impact under your big toe. So it just aids in that comfort of the shoe. Now, as you can see, 100 miles in this shoe, the area right here in the forefoot, the exposed foam, yes, that you know, V cuts have kind of worn away a little bit, but that being said, where the rubber is at is still going very strong. Now, this shoe is better for supinators. Okay, so if you land on the outside, the lateral edge of your foot, and you don't really pronate in that much, maybe you land and then your foot straightens out. It's kind of what this shoe is intended for, because the rubber, it's going to be hard to see on the camera, but the rubber on the outside lateral edge is thicker and protrudes out of the midsole foam a little bit more than what's on the inside edge. There's also less rubber on the inside edge than there is on the lateral edge. So it's almost like if you supinate, they intended for this shoe to be for supinators, where you're going to see more wear and tear on the outer edge. So keep that in mind. If you are a runner and you do kind of land on your outside, your lateral edge of your foot, this is a shoe that might be very, very good for you. And you got some good rubber back here as well for those heel strikers. Perfect. I love the amount of rubber because it keeps the weight down, but it's also very durable. I want to say it's XT900 rubber that they're using on here, but it's very durable rubber, and it has very good traction in even in wet conditions. I've ran in this in some wet conditions, and it's been very, very good in those wet conditions as well. So yeah, after 100 miles, what's my overall impression of the shoe? Where does the shoe really excel at? Well, daily trainer for sure. It is a shoe that you can just throw on every single day, and it's just going to eat up miles, and that's really what it's good for. I really feel like this is really good for some of those maybe easier efforts. You can use it for some long runs. It does have a slight rocker in the forefoot, not much, but it's a slight rocker there in the forefoot, and it does have some flexibility to it as well. My favorite part of the shoe, I forgot to mention this, my favorite part of the shoe, and when this shoe is actually retired, these are coming with it, I'm keeping these, is the insole units. The insole unit of this shoe is actually made from Power Run Plus. So the same midsole foam that is used on the Saucony Triumph, they put on the inside of the shoe. Honestly, Saucony, you guys really need to make a business of selling just these separately. If you sold these at about $40, $45 a pair, I would buy them. I honestly would buy them. And I'm sure like at that point your price point would be, you'd have a really good markup on just selling these, but I would hands down recommend these to anybody to put in their shoes. They are just fantastic. But they definitely make the shoe just a little bit better because they add a little bit of cushion and bounce to the inside of the shoe. It's not much, you know, you're only talking about maybe 4 or 5 millimeters of foam right there, but incredibly durable, light too, very light. But this is something that is kind of like, you're going to use it in other shoes when this shoe is completely retired. So it's going to live on. And I'm not retiring this shoe yet because I still feel like there's more life in it. This is a fantastic shoe, by the way, if I haven't said it enough. So yeah, I mean, overall, I just really love this shoe. It's been an absolute pleasure to run, and I'm going to keep running in it, even though it's at 100 miles already, and I have other shoes that I'm going to run in. But yeah, it's been fantastic. Overall, would I recommend this shoe? Heck yes. It definitely gives you a thumbs up. It definitely gets 2 thumbs up. Let me give that 2 thumbs up for this shoe, the Saucony Ride 15. Just a solid daily trainer shoe that's going to eat up a lot of miles for you. Long runs, easy days, daily miles, even some faster workouts this thing does really good at. Again, it's just a great shoe. So Saucony on sale right now, $140 regular price. Even at that price point, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. If you can get a discount code, if you sign up for Saucony's like email and mailing service or whatnot, they'll send you codes for discounts, 20%, 25%, 30%. Use those codes and get a discount on these. I mean, it's really awesome. So definitely a shoe worth buying, worth picking up, worth giving a try. If you need some stability, the Guide 15, which is the stability version of this shoe. So if you pronate, you overpronate, you're collapsing in, check out the Guide 15. It's basically the same shoe, pretty much the same upper, slightly different configuration to the midsole foam and the outsole to give you a little bit more support on the medial side, but otherwise still a very great shoe for those daily training miles. So guys, check it out, Saucony Ride 15, 100 miles in this shoe and still going. Guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, bell for notifications. Never pay full price for running shoes. And as always, enjoy the ride. I'll see you next time.